Let me talk. We chill, man. Y'all gotta read it, bro. Y'all gotta read it when it comes out, bro. But how y'all doing? How y'all doing, man? Before we get into this, how we doing? We got a lot of interesting stuff to talk about, man. So, uh, yeah, man. Just let y'all chill out for a little bit, man. But I've been chilling, bro. I've been staying out the way, uploading the video, trying to upload a video every single day. The video's been doing pretty good, man. We're doing pretty good so far, man. I know we can go further. I know we can go harder. Make sure you hit that like button right now. Hit that subscribe button too. Appreciate you. Love you. Anyway, let's stop delaying. Let's get to this stream, but now, first thing we got to talk about real quick. First thing we got to talk about. You already know we got some delusional stuff today, man. Hold on. I don't know why my mic sounds like extremely different. Let me see if I can change it. Properties. This is my headphones. I've been trying to like mess around with the settings, mess around with the settings in my mic, but it's just been like tweaking. Copy filters. What's that? Copy filters, paste filters, filters. Yeah, I've been messing around with this. I think I might go back to the default. It's like messing up my mic, bro. Yeah, it messes up the audio and the videos for some reason. You wish to remove gain. I'm gonna just remove all of these, see if it sounds any different. I'm gonna remove them, see if it sounds differently, and let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Got Tundra. Got Tundra. Got Tundra. 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 Yeah, that sounds better. I think. Y'all let me know if it's tweak. But y'all let me know if it's tweak. Let me tweak. All right. Without further delay, should we start off with the tweets or the viz? Let's start off with the tweets first. Let's start off with the tweets, cause all right. Sega has filed a new trademark for Shadow the Hedgehog. Now, we know Sega and we know Sonic, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. This is very, very good, bro. I'm not even gonna sit here and like, oh, we gonna get a Shadow 3, a Shadow 2, Shadow the Hedgehog 2. That probably might happen, but Just got out of church. Time to put on a suit. Also, I got my little Itachi. You know what I'm saying? Repping Itachi in these streets, bro. Favorite character. All right, bro. But yeah, like I said, it could be either be a game or like a mini series like the Knuckles series. That's all I could see this being. Um, Most likely might be another game though. So y'all let me know what y'all think about this, bro. Now, this next thing we gotta talk about is crazy. It's kind of crazy. So we got the shadow out the way. I'm gonna record this real quick. Not that. If Ghost of Yote made Atsu look like this, the game would have sold 1 million copies by now. I think we lost the plot. Let me know if I'm tweaking, but I think we lost the plot, bro. Cause what is this? What is this? I think like the world. I think people are just out of touch. That's what I think it is, really. Niggas are out of touch. They haven't seen grass in years. They're mad. People are mad because she doesn't look cute enough. I'm sorry that the game was set back in like I don't know the olden days where they had samurais and stuff like that, and girls didn't have makeup. I'm sorry they didn't have BBLs for you back then, but what the freak is this? I'm just, bro. It's like they're literally out of touch, bro. I think it's because people are getting so desensitized to like, oh, gooners and all of that, bro, and like all that weird stuff, bro. You can keep that over there, my God. Simple, dude. Just because her player build is like a 99 overall over here on the left, her player build, we got block. What the? And we got her player build is like a 60 overall due to gray shirts on the right, bro. Don't mean anything. This is like I just think people are out of touch when they talk about like females now, bro. Because like this is what they want. They want to jerk. They want every character to look like a Stellar Blade character, bro. They want every anime. They want every girl in their games now to look like a Stellar Blade character now, bro. Can't have old time samurais. It's like crazy, bro. I've seen some people also bashing the game, bro. Like, bro, it's literally insane, bro. I think the game. I didn't buy the game, but I think the game looks great, bro. I think I love Ghost of Tsushima, but I love Ghost of Tsushima though. I love Ghost of Tsushima. I think I would buy this game in the future, but there's too many. It's for me personally, financially, right? Financially wise, I don't think I would buy any game right now because there's too many good 2026 games. Nick, we got Invincible versus GTA 6. I'm dropping $100. Wolverine, Marvel vs. Tokyo Fighting Souls, dude. I'm dropping at least 400 bands. I'm dropping at least $400 next year, bruh. So it's like I gotta be conservative with my money a little bit right now, bro. I'm not gonna lie. But this is the grass-fed people I be talking about, bro. They haven't been touched outside in years. Sun hasn't hit the light of day on their eyes, man. It's crazy. It's literally crazy. It's delusional mindsets, man. Stellar Blade didn't. And the thing about this is, hold on, wait. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. I told y'all it's a little delusional today. We'll get to that. Weirdo. Thank you. Somebody with common sense, not being a hornball, buddy. If Ghost of Yo, it's Ghost of Yote, not Ninja Gaiden. These people need help. Thank you. Thank you, bro. Like crazy. Atsu is so ugly. Oh my goodness. Activists didn't even buy games. I don't need milk trucks as long as the face and butt is cute. What the fuck? What are we talking about? And I bet you if I click on this profile, I'm about to see something crazy. What the fuck? What? All right, bro. All right, bro. All right. This is what I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you, bro. It's people out here who are like genuinely tweaking, bro. They're genuinely tweaking. They don't know how to act, bro. They don't know how to act. They're grass fed. They haven't. The light hasn't touched their eyes in years. This is so stupid. It's like a parody of the worst stereotype of gamers. Boring Gooner bait. Thank you. And watch him, bro. Look, I shouldn't have did this, bro. But I'm about to show y'all. When we go on his page, the panda, his panda. Look what this dude has. Lighting in Stellar Blade PC is. This is what I'm talking about. What the, dude? Is that all you care about? Nah, she gotta look cute. She gotta look cute for me. She gotta put her makeup on for. Did I know she was dating you? This is crazy, bro. It's actually delusional, man. It's literally delusional. People are out of touch when it comes to female characters now, man. They're out of touch. Like, what? What the? This is how you fix Ghost of Yote gameplay? Are we serious? Bro, alright, bro. We're done with this. This is what I'm talking about, man. Hold on. It's always the incels. Like, in what world does person official again? Go touch grass. Thank you, man. Thank you. Go outside, man. This is what I'm telling you, bro. It's the people who they're grass fed, man. That's all I can say. They're grass fed, bro. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this delusional this, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think, bro. I don't think the game is bad. I think people are just tweaking, like literally insane, man. They don't because she doesn't look cute enough for them. They don't like the game. It's crazy. But man, y'all let me know what y'all. That was actually like nasty. That was actually nasty, bro. I'm bad. This is in my search history now, so I started like, oh, Ichikage. The segue into our next segment, bro. I don't think I'm gonna record this part, but the only we'll get to Senju the King, but Ultra Glaze and Senju in Japan. The only Naruto game I want at Bandai Namco. Come on, you my god, you my god. Come on, bro, you my god, Nietzsche. But you know, man, I respond. You know, Bandai not responding to this, but he not responding to you. Not their game, fam. Never said it was. So yeah, but I see some people what is it called, Road to Ninja or Broken Bond, right? People want a Broken Bond too, and ever since Bandai got their license to Naruto and Dragon Ball and stuff like that, right? So though they can only make games for those IPs, we're 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 getting it. We're not getting it. Our best hope, we're not getting a Broken Bond 2. So this is why I say our best hope in getting an anime game, or that's at least open world for Naruto. That's all I want is an open world Naruto game. Our best chance is, hold on, we're gonna pull it up in a minute. Is these videos that Globku had posted. Now, one more thing before we go to the Globku tweets. I want to go to I want to go to my guy sent you real quick. He had posted something and thought he was like ultra tweaking. Oh, who wins? Let me record this real quick. Who wins? Madara versus Sukuna. Spoiler: Madara wins. I'm not by no means in my power scaler at all. So when I say I don't know how to scale this because Madara gets no diffed and one shotted. What panel was that? It's like crazy. Boom is coming. Madara no diffs the verse. All right, let's calm down. Let's calm down. I think JJK and Naruto is fair to some extent, but JJK did have meteors. It did have meteors. We can only compare him to meteor level because Madara was able to summon what, two meteors back to back. He was able to summon two meteors. Sukuna really, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know how to scale this at all, bro. I'm just yapping at this point, bro. But I'm not gonna lie, I think Madara would take this. If we're just talking about like straight hand to hand, none of that bull, it's Madara, bro. His enhanced perception with his Sharingan. Yeah, it's Madara, bro. It's Madara, bro. All right, now let's watch. I kind of want to see what this is about real quick. I promise you, we gonna get to this. We gonna get to the Dream Naruto kind of concept. We gonna get to this. I kind of want to watch how animation has completely shifted and why it matters. So we're gonna watch a little bit of this, how animation has completely shifted and why it matters. We're gonna watch a little bit of this, see how it is, and if it's trash, it's trash. We turn it off. Yeah.
$70 million. That's how much a Japanese anime movie made in America in one weekend, completely destroying a 26
It's heavily music. Everybody started
year old
glazing.
record and proving that everything you thought you knew about animation is wrong. But that number isn't even the most shocking part of this story. There are three main
That's actually crazy. It's even made even more than that, right? 70 million. It's made over more than. When was this video? Like 1 day ago? It's made even more than that. I think it's like 500 mil, almost 600 million. Crazy.
shifts that are gonna
It beat Superman and Fantastic Four.
completely overhaul the animation industry and could signal the end of Western animation as we know it. For context, this past month, Demon Slayer Infinity Castle came out in cinemas across the world and has now made upwards of $616 million worldwide, becoming the highest grossing anime film
600
in
worldwide.
history. In the United States alone, it earned $118 million, making it not just the biggest anime opening ever, but the only animated film to pass $100 million in the US this year. Think about that. In a year where Pixar and DreamWorks both released animated movies, it was a Japanese Demon Slayer.
It's a kid show. Kid show. We're not watching that. The grown man movie right here.
Story that became most of the world's most successful animated film. Not only that, it also beat Marvel and DC at the box office. This isn't some fluke either. It's the second time the Demon Slayer franchise. This isn't some fluke either.
What? How you do that?
It's the second time.
That was hard. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, that was hard. Y'all might say I'm glazed, but that was hard. That was hard.
The franchise has achieved this level of success. Mugen Train made $506 million globally in 2021, and now Infinity Castle has surpassed that milestone by quite a bit. Two R-rated animated movies from the same franchise have now.
I think this is also the biggest animated film ever that's rated, or this is the biggest R-rated film ever. I think. I might just be happy, but I think this is like, at least in the last 5 years, this has to be one of the biggest R-rated films.
Now produce the biggest Japanese animated successes at the global box office in history. It's clear we're witnessing a cultural shift happening in real time. And to understand why this is happening, we need to talk about how animation has fundamentally evolved in ways that most of you haven't even noticed yet. Because what we're witnessing is the complete transformation of what audiences want from animated storytelling. And studios are gonna have to wake up. For the longest time, Hollywood was obsessed with insisting that animated movies were for kids, that animation and cartoons were just for children, and that animation couldn't and shouldn't be mature. Mainly because the Hays Code from 1934 to 1968 first censored mature animation content, conditioning two generations.
What was that?
1968 first censored.
Whoa. I ain't gonna lie, they were getting away with crazy stuff back then. I'm not even surprised. But this is like insane.
Mature animation content, conditioning two generations to view animation as children's entertainment. Then, how expensive and time-intensive animated films were meant studios needed guaranteed family audiences to justify that kind of investment. Adult animation meant narrower demographics and uncertain returns. Add to that the success of Disney and the Looney Tunes and many other child-friendly cartoons, and the perception became self-reinforcing. Animation is for kids because we only fund animation for kids. But audiences have grown up and have also been exposed to anime over the past few decades, which has shaped their view of what animation should and could be. That's led to all of us quietly and sometimes loudly in my case, demanding for animated storytelling that's more mature, more complex, more honest and nuanced. And the studios that listened are now dominating the conversation, while those that didn't are getting swiftly left behind. There are
Yeah, make sure y'all subscribe. Make sure y'all subscribe. That but story. I'm
multiple
stealing his
animated
views,
movies
but
that are leading the way. We'll
it's a good
get to
video,
those.
man.
But in Demon Slayer's case, it's an R-rated animated movie that made hundreds of millions at the box office. That would have been incomprehensible 20 years ago. No R-rated movie had ever cracked 150 million before
Yeah, it's the biggest, man. It's the biggest.
Demon Slayer came along. Why?
It's
For a
really is the
number of
biggest
reasons. But number one is because it's so globally accessible. Creator Gotoge, which I hope I didn't butcher, simply stayed true to their vision. A straightforward good versus evil story about a kind hero. That simplicity became its
And niggas will still bash it. That's crazy to me, man. It's like niggas will still bash it, bro. It's just a simplistic story about a good guys versus evil guys. You know what I'm saying? But no, it's overrated. It's overrated. Tanjiro's boring. Can't have a good MC anymore, dude.
international strength. Demons and family tragedy need no cultural translation, unlike anime like Monogatari or Gintama that require Japanese cultural literacy. Yet within that simple framework, Demon Slayer layers Taisho era aesthetics and breathing techniques inspired by Eastern martial arts. Like Squid Game, it succeeded globally by being authentically Japanese while telling a universally relatable story. It also didn't sacrifice emotional weight. When
Oh, is he going manga spoilers?
Tanjiro's family is brutally murdered in the opening episode, there's no magical resurrection. Just a boy carrying that trauma and learning to transform.
And a lot of people can relate to that, bro. Me included, bro. Like losing someone close to you, and then like a lot of people can relate to Demon Slayer. As much as you hate it, you could probably relate to it. You know what I'm saying?
Pain into compassion. When Rengoku dies
The
in
pain
Mugen
of
Train,
it.
protecting others with his final breath, it hits hard because the story commits to the emotional stakes. Characters have to live with consequences, grow from them, and sometimes die because of them. What makes this approach brilliant is how Demon Slayer gives every character, especially its villains, detailed backstories that create genuine emotional connection. The demons aren't just monsters to be killed, they're former humans consumed by despair or tragedy, making their eventual defeat bittersweet rather than completely triumphant. I'm pretty sure Akaza's backstory broke all of us watching the movie. This emotional complexity within a simple narrative structure allows the series to resonate with anyone. But we can't talk about Demon Slayer without mentioning the animation. It's been a staple for the entire series, and Ufotable actually managed to level up with Infinity Castle. It might be the most gorgeous, fluid, and incredible
To this day, it's the best thing I ever watched, animation wise. To this day. I ain't gonna lie, it's gonna be hard for the sake of it, bro. It is, bro. It just is, bro. I think I still think Tengen versus Gyutaro is better than. I see a lot of people saying Tengen versus Gyutaro isn't better than Gyu versus Akaza. I think they're completely tweaking. Just because the animation leveled up, don't mean it's not hype. Tengen versus Gyutaro is the most hypest thing out of Demon Slayer yet to me. Personally, to me, it's the hypest thing. It's everybody putting their life on the line. Everybody putting their life on the line for this. What? We putting our life on the line for this shit. And to tell me it went out like that, oh my gosh.
animation I've ever seen in my life. Like art that respects its medium. Every frame could clearly be hung up in a gallery. Every action sequence feels really well choreographed, like if it were ballet, the studio rose to the occasion of a blockbuster movie with its animation, elevating the simple storytelling into something transcendent, as they always have. I have to shout out the Zenitsu fight in particular. It's been a very long time since I've felt that level of goosebumps and hype.
Like even Zenitsu, Zenitsu is not a character that I care for much, but like seeing him lock in like that, oh my gosh.
In the cinema,
Hype, man,
but
hype.
seeing Zenitsu do that seventh form of thunder breathing was absolutely batshit crazy. And the complexity of modeling the Infinity Castle sounds insane, with millions of architectural assets apparently. The way the studio also blended CG with 2D was impeccable, and the CG looked so good. But it's not just Infinity Castle leading the craze for maturity in animation. Look at what's been winning Oscars across the animation landscape. Flow, The Boy and the Heron, Guillermo del Toro's
I heard about the boy in
Pinocchio,
there.
Soul. These are all more mature animated movies with layered and complex storytelling and themes. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse is another monumental movie.
Now, let me ask y'all a question. Do y'all think what's gonna do more numbers in the box office? Is Spider Verse across the Spider or is Spider Man across the spot? Holy moly, that boy can't talk. What y'all think is gonna do more numbers though? Spider Man across the Spider Verse Part 2 or what is it called? It's called something, bro. It's called something Part 2 or what? We'll just call it Part 2 or Demon Slayer Infinity Castle Part 2. Hey, that's hard. That's hard. No, that's actually hard to say what's going. The amount of leagues Demon Slayer pushed. Niggas been waiting on that Spider Man though, bro. Niggas been waiting on that Spider Man though. And I ain't gonna lie, I think Demon Slayer might. Nah, Spider Man got it, bro. Spider Man probably gonna do more numbers. Quote me if I'm wrong, bro. Spider Man probably gonna do more numbers than Demon Slayer. All these niggas have been waiting for Spider Man, especially across the U.S. Now, other countries, even other countries did pretty good, but like Spider, bro, everybody over here been waiting on this, bro. I think
Movie
it's
that
gonna do more
solidifies
numbers.
this
Oh
trend,
my
as it's a pretty dark animated movie, especially by the end, tackling death, identity, and challenging predetermined fate. It's definitely no Shrek, that's for sure. These films succeed because they treat their audience like people who have experienced genuine emotions and complex relationships. Animation is for all ages, and the mainstream studios and audiences have finally realized this. But the maturity shift is only half the story. The second shift comes down to a combination of factors that honestly shocked me when I started researching. It simply comes down to how studios are using Surfshark, today's sponsor. You should
god.
think of Surfshark like your own
It's a good video, man. It's a good video.
risk-free. Now back to the actual second fundamental shift in animation. That shift is the origin of a lot of these movies. And it's not where Hollywood executives expected 10 years ago. While Western studios have been playing it safe with familiar IPs and focus group tested concepts, Eastern animation has been building global empires by taking creative risks that would have terrified Disney board members. Neja 2 became the highest grossing animated movie in history with over $2 billion worldwide. A Chinese movie that out-earned every Disney, Pixar, and DreamWorks movie ever made. Let that sink in. A story rooted in Chinese mythology and cultural values has become the most commercially successful animated film in human history. Even if most of that is in China, that's still incredibly impressive. And I'm positive no Western animation studio would have ever predicted that. I definitely wouldn't have. We can't talk about Eastern-inspired animation without mentioning the insane success of K-pop Demon Hunters, becoming Netflix's most watched original film in history with
Yeah, that's crazy, bro.
325 million views, proving that audiences are hungry for stories that blend cultural influences in ways Hollywood hasn't even attempted, or barely has. A movie about K-pop stars who are secretly demon hunters, combining Korean pop culture aesthetics with supernatural action and musical performances that are insane, did so well by embracing its cultural specificity rather than trying to appeal to 2025 to it all by becoming the highest grossing animated movie in the US this year. It's not only empty numbers though. Live action Lilo and Stitch, these movies are garnering incredible reviews too. All of them are above 90% on Rotten Tomatoes and also did incredible on Letterboxd. This represents something unprecedented in entertainment history. Eastern storytelling, Eastern aesthetics, and Eastern cultural values are setting global entertainment standards, while Western studios are playing catch up with movies that feel like they're behind current audience expectations.
I think the only thing that the West really got for real still is Spider Verse. Other than that, we look at the animation race. Dude, what is this?
Is obviously at the forefront of this, with international interest rising exponentially over the past 15 years. Sony recognized this shift earlier than most competitors. As Crunchyroll CEO Rahul Purini explains, Sony's $1.18 billion acquisition of Crunchyroll and its merger with Funimation transformed anime from a promising segment into a central strategic component for them. The company now forecasts anime becoming a $60 billion global industry by 2030, a prediction that Infinity Castle's success is already validating way ahead of schedule. As he said in an interview, anime fandom is no longer niche. It's mainstream and gigantic. Netflix revealed that half of its 300 million users watch anime, and given Netflix's consumer base skews Western, that makes the trend pretty clear. But here's what's most significant about this Eastern dominance. These movies are ridiculously culturally influential in ways that reshape how global audiences think about storytelling itself. When American teenagers cosplay as Tanjiro at Comic-Con, when Chinese mythology becomes globally recognizable, when K-pop is dominating every single chart in the world because of K-pop demon hunters, we're witnessing the establishment of new cultural hierarchies where creativity and authenticity matter the most. But there's one more shift that might alter how animation evolves, related to how Demon Slayer is revolutionizing the business model of storytelling itself. See, while most franchises either drag out TV series indefinitely or conclude with single movies or episodes, Demon Slayer is ending with something unprecedented, a trilogy of global cinematic events that treats its finale like a mainstream blockbuster Hollywood spectacle. I've seen people have mixed opinions on this strategy, but I think this is absolutely genius on multiple.
It's you got to think of it from. I know we're thinking of it like anime niggas, like anime nigga logic. You're gonna be probably upset that you gotta wait 4, what is it, 4 years. You anime nigga logic, you're gonna be upset. It's gonna be 4 years. But you gotta think about it from business perspective. You think about Mugen Train, the thing that saved us. You gotta think about it from the business perspective. The Mugen Train, the thing that saved us from going completely bankrupt, saved us. Now we're up now, and we drop another movie, and that did better than Mugen Train, and we're on the charts, dude. Dude, no wonder I'm gonna make all my 3 movies, but
Levels. It gives animators more time and flexibility to do their absolute best rather than having
facts. It gives them time because instead of like, oh, we gotta pump up an episode every week or something like that, you know. I don't know how exactly that works, but like, you know how they be dropping weekly episodes and stuff like that. Like,
to rush to get out episodes, a la Jujutsu Kaisen. It creates
it prevents stuff like Dragon Ball Super from happening, bruh. You know, where Dragon Ball Super had that sloppy eye animation. It prevents stuff like that from getting sloppy. Like, okay, we're giving 2 years to make this. Okay, now we have time to stretch, make everything beautiful as possible, and boom.
unparalleled amount of hype with each new movie ending on a cliffhanger basically, and makes the finale into 3 global cinematic events that the huge fan base of Demon Slayer can look forward to and rave about. Each movie becomes an event that generates global conversation, breaks box office records, and builds anticipation for the next installment. It transforms a normal anime series conclusion into a theatrical franchise that will probably gross over $2 billion combined by the end. Honestly, be prepared to see more anime do something like this. I wouldn't be surprised if One Piece.
I ain't gonna lie, One Piece. Yeah, yeah. One Piece might end, bro. One Piece might end the movies. I'm not gonna lie. They might end One Piece in movies.
JJK, or even
Even
solo
Bleach might
leveling
get that
down the
treatment.
line were also to cap off their anime with multiple movies, given how insanely successful Infinity Castle has been. And honestly, I'm all for it. There's no better feeling than watching your favorite anime on the big screen. This also means Western studios need to reevaluate how they approach their animated movies. With two massive blockbuster animated trilogies, Infinity Castle and Spider-Verse, it's clear that animation is now on the level of creating cohesive, large production stories on the scale of Lord of the Rings or Star Wars. See, here's the uncomfortable truth that Disney, Pixar, and DreamWorks are all definitely grappling with behind closed doors. Animation has outgrown the creative and commercial limitations that Western studios spent decades reinforcing, and audiences have moved on with or without them. This isn't to say there's no place for family-friendly animated stories. Of course there is. There will always be. The Wild Robot, Inside Out, The Mitchells vs. the Machines, Klaus. But what it means is that moving forward, the billion-dollar-plus animated movies will likely be the more mature ones, in my opinion. I'm pretty certain Beyond the Spider-Verse will crack 1 billion. The rest
Yeah, Beyond the Spider Verse. Yeah, I think Beyond the Spider Verse gonna beat Demon Slayer
of the
Part Two.
Infinity Castle will likely also crack it, at least the last one. In 2020, Netflix reported that households worldwide watched 50% more anime in the first 9 months of 2020 compared to all of 2019. The pandemic anime boom is a real thing, with people having so much time on their hands that they could start watching anime on Netflix. That trend has accelerated into something that analysts now call the predominant visual language of animated storytelling for entire generations. The people that grew up with cartoons and animation being prevalent are now in their teens, 20s, and 30s. And I'd say we all want animated stories that are more mature as we've matured. And mainly thanks to anime, global audiences discovered animation doesn't have to mean sanitized stories designed to sell toys to children. We found stories that respected our intelligence, acknowledged our emotional complexity, and treated our cultural background as worth celebrating rather than homogenizing. The result is a complete inversion of traditional power dynamics in animation. Anime succeeded by never asking permission to be complex, mature, or emotionally honest. It's always been that way since its popularization in the 60s and 70s. They simply created compelling stories and trusted audiences to respond. Western animation is still struggling to take creative risks, and that hesitation shows in every disappointing box office return. Wish, Elio. This shift has already happened. Sony Pictures is doubling down on anime distribution, Netflix is throwing billions at anime content acquisition and original animated production. Even Disney Plus is quietly adding more mature animated series to their catalog, desperately trying to capture audiences that have already moved on to other platforms. The industry scramble is real and it's accelerating. But here's the fundamental challenge Western studios face. Audiences can tell the difference between authentic storytelling and corporate attempts to replicate successful formulas. You can't just copy the surface elements of anime success without understanding the philosophical differences that make those stories resonate. Funnily enough, the only Western studio that is ahead of the curve is technically Japanese. Sony Animation, the studio responsible for K-pop Demon Hunters, the Spider-Verse, more mature animated movies, and the acquisition of Crunchyroll. So they're betting on anime and more mature animation to be the future. The next 5 years will determine whether Hollywood can evolve quickly enough to compete in a landscape they no longer control, or if we're watching the permanent establishment of Eastern animation as the global standard for what animated storytelling can achieve. I'll personally be placing my bet on the latter.
Good video, man. Good video. Good video. Shout out to Miguel, man. Shout out to Miguel. That was a very good video, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think about that. And like, comment, and subscribe if you're new. And we out. It's a good video, man. Good video. Good video. All right. Sorry it took so long for me, man. The Naruto game. Oh my gosh. The Naruto game everyone wants to play. Let's go ahead and get into it, bro. So this is the
An
Dream
open
Naruto
world
game. Dang, Goku, it's the Dream Naruto game I've been telling y'all about, bro. Globku, he wrote it down on paper, every single thing about this game. I've watched this like as a kid. I've watched this like 5 different times, bro. But just been theorizing about, man, we could have so much in the open world. Not getting any of that, but we gonna have our hopes up today, man. So let's see what Goku got to say.
MMORPG, constantly online, where you can create your own character, choose your starter village, and learn new jutsu as you build your dream ninja, completing missions, fighting other players, as you pave your way to becoming the world's strongest. It's an idea that I see pitched by Naruto fans every time there's a new game announcement or every time there's talks of a new Naruto game in the future. And it's a great idea, one that many fans have fallen in love with, myself included. So much so that over 10 years ago, I wrote it all down here. From game mechanics to monetization models, I was so in love with this idea that over the years, I just kept on writing and writing, putting together some sort of developer document. So hey, sit back,
We know Bandai's not gonna look at this, but I'm gonna let y'all have some hope today, man. I'll let
relax.
y'all have some
Here's the
hope.
Naruto game that everyone wants from a guy who's been thinking about this stuff for over 10 years. Brought to you by Otaku-chan.
10 years is crazy though. Shout out to Otaku-chan. Character creation. What happened to the vid, bruh? Oh my
Being
god.
usually slower and having bigger recovery, but better range, you start your own character progression. In the academy, you'll have classes
Start as a child, go through the academy.
that explain mechanics, and missions where you'll actually try out those mechanics for yourself, almost like practical lessons. For instance, you'll learn that there are 2 attack buttons, one for a light attack and one for a strong attack, and you'll learn a basic combo. And you can actually perform this in training, but in class you learn that taijutsu masters can also do a lot more with these 2 buttons. They can even customize their own combos with different combinations of the light and strong attack buttons.
See, I like that, right? I like that, especially what he's going to say in the future. But I like that because it gives depth into the combat system. It's just not a mash a mash type game like Storm where it's just circle, circle, circle. You know what I'm saying? But we know we're gonna get that, bro. But it actually like creates depth. Like if you have a sword, you might have different animations. If you're main ninjutsu or taijutsu. If you're a taijutsu user, then your main thing would be, fist.
By holding down the strong button at different points in the combo, or delaying the light or the strong button, similar to how Platinum Games usually does a lot of combos with simple buttons.
Or like Lost Soul, you know how I don't know how many of y'all play it, but Lost Soul aside, I like their combo system. So if like we had that combo system, but it was unique for every type of like taijutsu, ninjutsu, stuff like that, it'd
So
be
in
fire.
practice, you have a simple combo, but in the academy, you actually learn the potential for a lot more. Similar thing with weapons. You learn how weapons change your melee combat, because they will change your attack buttons. Bigger weapons being usually slower and having bigger recovery, but better range and more damage, and smaller weapons being faster, but suffering in the range department. And you get to try that out at the academy. You get to try out melee combat with and without weapons, but obviously your choices in the academy are limited. You only have access to some basic weapons, like the kunai for instance, or maybe a sword, depends on the village where you started. But you also learn that once you get out into the world, your options will multiply. You'll be able to wield bigger swords, staves, I don't know the word, maybe even a legendary weapon which has its own systems attached. You know what, I might be going into too much detail this early in the video, but this is the type of game I imagine, so I think it's important for you to learn this now, because you'll also learn this stuff at the academy. Legendary weapons, for instance, let's say the Samehada. In each world, there should only be one of these swords. You will never see 2 ninja.
So basically, what he's trying to say is one per server. Yeah, exactly. Like one legendary sword per server. So there's 7 swordsmen, right? 7 swordsmen. I don't know if I said that correctly, but there's one legendary sword per server, right? So that one person who has that legendary sword is like, you know what I'm saying? You got to beat him. in order
building
to
the
get it.
same legendary weapon. Now, servers can be split into different regions. Let's say there's a North American server, there's a European server, etc., and then you can split it again depending on how big your player base is between servers where PvP is enabled.
Yeah, I would say like per region, I would say per region maybe like 4 to 6 servers. I'd
And
say
where
six
PvP is
servers.
disabled, where you just want to roleplay or something. But each one of these servers will only have one Samehada. And to get it, you must defeat the player who owns it, or just find it out in the wild. There's a risk of a player getting one of these weapons and just logging out and never logging back online. So legendary weapons will come with a timer, let's say 72 hours. Every time you log out, the 72-hour timer starts counting down. If it reaches 0, you lose the legendary weapon, it is released back into the world. But if you log in, the timer, instead of going down, it starts going up. So let's say you had 24 hours left on that timer, it starts counting up from 24 hours. All the way up to 72. 72 is max. Otherwise, you could just log in and not really play the game just to reset the timer. So yeah, I don't think legendary weapons should belong to players who don't really play the game. So in a way, legendary weapons should also
Yeah, okay. I was thinking about like what if a person just logged on and they just logged off, but I don't know if I like that timer because like let's say I didn't play the game for 2 days, right? Let's say I didn't play the game for 2 days, or let's say I have 1 hour left, right? Then I have to play the game for what 24 hours straight just to leave. I'll have to play the game for 24 hours straight just to. I mean, at that point, you might as well just go AFK. There's too many loopholes to that a little bit. There is a little too many loopholes to that, but I think for now it's fine.
be seen as temporary power-ups, because eventually you won't be able to log in for 3 days straight and you'll lose that legendary weapon, but that's okay. That's part of your ninja story. You were someone who once held a legendary weapon in your hands and you did X, Y, and Z feats with it before you lost it. But back to the academy, let's talk ninjutsu. In the academy, you might also learn a couple of basic jutsu, like the substitution jutsu, which is different depending on the village that you choose at the start. However, this jutsu works different from most Naruto games. Usually that's just a panic button, a get out of a combo type of system. No. In this game, all jutsu are performed by inputting button combinations. So let's take this PS4 controller, alright? Let's say L1 is the jutsu button. So you press L1 and your character starts gathering chakra. And then the face buttons correspond to different seals. So for the substitution jutsu, let's say you hold L1 and you do square, circle, square. Bam! Substitution jutsu activated. If you get hit by an attack, you'll vanish, and in your place the log will show up, or a water clone, or whatever your village does for substitution. And if you don't get hit, then you spent your chakra for nothing. And this is pretty much how every jutsu would work, and this is part of what makes this game a skill-based game, and not as much of a level-up RPG where if you're out-leveled, you don't stand a chance in battle against anyone. No, everyone has the same stats to start off, and then they just kind of build their own jutsu loadout that they think will work better against other players. And you
See, me and Glauco have the same mindset for real. When I saw this for the first time, I'm like, twin, right? That boy start thinking he is Glauco, boy, but I agree, man. I agree.
You can unlock thousands of jutsu, and you'd think that's overpowered, but no, actually. If you don't know the button combinations to do them in
Yeah,
battle,
button combinations for jutsu so that it's not just one button. Like you can learn 1,000 jutsus. You can possibly learn 1,000 jutsus. Are you gonna use over half of them? Probably.
you'll just never use them. Plus, since you're holding the shoulder button to prepare your jutsu, this is perfect because it means you can still walk around, you move while you're doing the seals. And simple jutsu will require less button inputs, while more powerful and more dangerous jutsu will require more button inputs, which means their startup time will be longer, which means you've got to memorize a bigger thing, but hey, that's player skill. And we can even add a modifier to certain buttons. For instance, holding down the R1 button would make it so that your chakra nature comes into play. So the Shidori, for instance. In the show, it's only 3 hand seals, right? So let's say those seals are 3 buttons. You hold L1 to start your jutsu, and you would do square, triangle, X, right? But because it has chakra nature, you have to do square, R1 triangle, R1 X. This basically means you have 4 face buttons plus 4 with modifier, and you can have so many different combinations here, and it's enough, honestly. With time, you'll get used to it. With time,
Actually adding depth to the game. Love it.
time you will learn what your favorite jutsu are and you'll just do them by muscle memory. Honestly, that's pretty much how combos work in every fighting game as well. Now you
You
can't just
probably gonna
create
you. I could see like obviously with any game where there's a CAC, you can probably see people using the most broken jutsus. Or what's the most broken jutsu in the Naruto open world game? Obviously that. So I would feel like balance patches are indefinite to like this is the type of game, the Dream Naruto game, open world, all of that. This is the type of game that needs consistent updates. Like it gets an update every week or every 2 weeks. This is the type of game. Like every 2 weeks we get buffs, nerfs, stuff like that. It's a different jutsu.
a ninja and start doing all these jutsu, you have to learn them first. And there are a couple of ways of learning jutsu. Number one, you can learn them from mentors. These are NPCs who act as your teachers, and each mentor will be able to pass down specific jutsu. They might even have a small mission that teaches you how to use said jutsu. Method number
Like
two.
y'all ever play them Bion type games, like Bion games where like they have their AFK and stuff like that, or like they can like them AF like Kosab. Kosab was a that game was hard back in the day, bruh.
Two, you can learn
Kosab
them
was heat.
from scrolls. Some jutsu can't be taught by mentors, but they can be found in scrolls spread throughout the world. You may hear rumors of said scrolls by talking to people in the village or out in the world, and it's up to you to find them. You won't get a quest mark or anything on your map, you gotta follow the clues to find them. Obviously, a week after the game comes out, there will be a wiki with all the scroll locations, and if you want to use the wiki to find those scrolls, that's fine, that's how you want to play the game. But if you don't, if you just want to follow the clues, it will be that much more immersive and rewarding once you actually
I think over a I think for the first time I might do that. For the first time I might like try to role play and find that. But when I get like midway through the game, I'm like, all right, bro, where's the scroll at?
find the thing. Plus, this will be sort of a live game, constant updates and stuff like that, so maybe the wiki will get outdated very easily. Finally, the
This is the game. This is the type of game that if they actually logged in, nigga, I'm paying a subscription. Call me crazy. This is the type of game I'm paying a subscription. You gotta pay. Let's say this game comes out, you gotta pay $20 a month to keep playing. I'm paying it, bruh. I'm paying
third
it.
method for learning jutsu, you can learn it from other players. There will obviously be a progression system in this game that takes you from genin to shunin to jonin, and if you meet a ninja of a higher class, then you can totally learn jutsu from them. Think of these players as your mentors, but instead of an NPC, it's a real person. And we're still not done with the academy. I know, right? One of the big things ninjas must learn
Hold on, you
person.
can learn from other players.
And we're still not done with the academy. I know, right? One of the big things ninjas must learn how to do properly is how to move in battle. At the time that I wrote these notes, we didn't have Shinobi Striker, but I actually thought the game did pretty good movement. The way you transition from being in the ground to walking into walls is sort of how I thought movement should
Nah, I don't like the movement from Shinobi Striker.
work in this game. I don't think every character should have a wire kunai by default, like Shinobi Striker. That's a bit too specific. But when you leave the academy, you'll know how to control your chakra to walk on walls and even walk on water. I know that's something that Naruto learned later in the show, but even watching Boruto now, everyone just learns that at the academy. So, and for traveling long distances, we're gonna need a different system, something to travel between trees or something. It should make traveling a lot faster and more pleasant, but also should be something that leaves you very vulnerable and that you wouldn't want to use in combat. Even a shuriken would knock you off the tree, so you just can't run away from a fight. Oh, speaking of, I'm thinking shuriken should definitely be something that has some enemy tracking. Aiming in a game with this much mobility, it has to be somewhat assisted. It can't just be manual aim, but all the shuriken should be automatically blocked. If you're not doing anything, or if you're just moving around, you should block all shuriken automatically. However, if you're focusing chakra with the L1 button, or if you're doing anything else, then you'll get hit and your action will get interrupted. Alright, so now that you've learned all the basics at the academy, it's time to have an
I
exam.
agree.
And once you pass that exam, congratulations, you are now a ninja. This is not a short tutorial because this is not a simple game. So that's why it shouldn't be treated as a simple tutorial, but a proper school, a proper part of the game, a part of the progression. You should feel like you're learning how to be a ninja by playing this game and not feeling like, oh, I gotta get through some tutorial text just to get to the real game or whatever. No, this is part of your journey. You need to master all the aspects of being a ninja to graduate and become a proper ninja. But also, the academy is something that shows you how many different types of ninja you can be once you leave the academy. So during the academy, you'll start to think how much you want to focus on taijutsu, for instance, or how many ninjutsu you want to find, or which ones, what's your goal in the game. And speaking of goal, I've broken down a lot of systems in the game. I've told you how this game plays, but
speed
what do
this
you
up a
do?
little
Obviously,
bit,
you can just
cool.
start exploring the world and trying to find
fuck it, bro.
ninjutsu scrolls to add to your collection and train under different mentors that have even more ninjutsu. If you just want to collect ninjutsu, that's the way you can play this game. There's already a lot of content there to explore. Building a ninja over time is already a big deal, but Naruto fans have different goals when it comes to the Naruto universe. Some want to be the Hokage, others want to go rogue and start something like Yakatsuki. So I thought of
Shit, don't catch me like it, but I'm pull a gun out, boy. I'm pull a gun out, start, bro. I would want to be Hokage. Everybody want to be Hokage. I would want to be a Koski leader, lead some shit. You know what I'm saying?
couple of systems that would make a lot of those dreams possible. We're not going to have time to talk about all those systems, but I'll leave you with a few. First up, ninja ranks. After you graduate to Genin, you can start accepting D rank and C rank missions. You can do these missions solo or play them co-op in a four-man party. Ideally, 3 of those ninja would be Genin and 1 Jonin to guide them, if you want to roleplay, but the game's not going to force you to do any of that. It would be a matchmaking nightmare, plus Jonin don't want to babysit new players. Every 2 weeks or so, there would be a calendar event that you can sign up for, and that is the Chunin exam. The Chunin exam will have different phases depending on how many people sign up, and it's kind of up to our creativity to determine what these events are. We can have a simple tournament, we can have a battle royale, we can have the survival exam.
Yeah, like let's say Bandai tweets. Let's say Bandai tweets. Um, Bandai tweets every month. What is it? Bandai tweets every month what we want for the new tuning exams, right? Let's say there's a tuning exam every month or every other month. Bandai posts a tweet. What do you guys want in this tuning exam? Blah blah blah, and whatever gets the highest votes gets, we get
scrolls. We can have an obstacle course where the fastest player wins. There's all sorts of stuff that can happen here. We can even have multiple of these events if a lot of people sign up, so we have different stages to, thin out the herd. Only the strongest, only the best should make it to the next stage. And these exams should be absolutely savage, because if you lose, no big deal, you can try again in 2 weeks. But if you win, it will really be a badge you can show off with honor. Being a Chunin would actually mean something at that point. At the same time, being a Chunin doesn't actually make you stronger. You can be just as strong of a ninja at the Genin level. The Chunin does give you access to the B rank and A rank missions, which, give you more money, have better rewards, so they can make your life easier. But you still learn the same jutsu as you would as a Genin. So as a Genin, you can be just as strong as any Chunin or Jonin in the game. Of course, from Chunin, you can also graduate to Jonin with a similar method, though these exams should be a bit more rare. Let's say instead of once every 2 weeks, we have only 1 per month, and the events could also slightly differ. And then we have the highest level, the level of Kage. Now, obviously, this will be a coveted position. Thousands of players will want it, but only 1 per village can have it. Well, 1 per village per server. So just like the legendary weapons, players need to think of the Kage as a temporary effect. It's part of your ninja story. It's an amazing feat to achieve, but you know that at some point, you'll need to pass it on to someone else. The position of Kage is a position of respect. You become a Kage when the whole village acknowledges you as one. So in a way, it's nothing more, nothing less than democracy. So every couple of months, everyone in the village can vote for the new Kage. And any Jonin can apply for this position. The village votes on their favorite, and the Kage does have some power over the village. It's an important position, and villagers shouldn't be just...
Nah, I could easily see that going wrong, but I think in the next video he talks about the flaws of this. I think this is good, but I don't think it should be a democracy, right? Bandai posts a community poll, says, vote who you want to be your next Kage by going to the poll, blah blah blah, in game and stuff like that. And everybody votes for Syriax, or everybody votes for Glauco, or everybody votes for Rhyme Style. You know what I'm saying? People would just, at that point, niggas would just dig right YouTubers. It would literally just dig right YouTubers or anybody popular playing the game. Like, then that would kind of diminish your
voting randomly.
like. You know damn well you're not getting all Kage, what?
First of all, the Kage can make peace or war with other villages. And these other villages are also controlled by other Kage, so, village relationships matter. Just like democracy, Kage players can also select which events happen on each exam. If you want to level up to Chunin or Jonin, the Kage can determine which events are going to be in each one of those exams. If not, they just happen automatically if you don't want to be honest. Kage players also handpick a few Jonin players to become part of their Anbu special forces. And in this game, Anbu members would basically be bounty hunters. But to explain bounties, I have to explain yet another system, and this is a big one. Permadeath. Your character that you've spent a long time developing and learning jutsu for can die permanently. Now, I don't want to make this too discouraging. You don't lose everything. When you create another ninja, you can inherit your previous ninjutsu. So at least not all your progress has been lost. You can skip the academy since you've already done that once, so you just become a Genin right away. And it's almost like your old ninja, the one that died, was reincarnated in this new one. You lose your rank, you lose your money, but everything that comes from within, your chakra nature, your knowledge about combos and ninjutsu, you can inherit some of that. We can even have a marriage system where one player marries another player and then they just retire, and when they retire, they make a new character that can inherit jutsu from both. I think generation
Wrong man, role playing, marrying each other. I don't, I don't like that, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think that's got a heat. I like the idea of, oh, you could have a kid and your kid could be the next name, but role playing with another grown man. It's
of
crazy.
ninja are important for the spirits of Naruto, but we'll get to that in a minute. Death. We're talking about death now. Dying as a ninja shouldn't be easy. You can go down on missions, you have a down state, you can be revived by teammates, or you can just bleed out and wake up at a hospital. It shouldn't be a game that is too punishing like that. No, you only die if an enemy ninja wants to kill you, and they have to intentionally do it. A type of thing where they've defeated you, and now they walk up to you and hold down a button to finish you off. This ninja is officially committing murder. Now, in some villages, murder could be legal or illegal. That's part of being a Kage. As a Kage, you also decide all of that. If you kill a ninja from your own village, you become a rogue ninja and you get a bounty on your head, and the Anbu start chasing you. If you kill a ninja from another village, well, then maybe your village likes that or not. So with this whole death system, we now have more goals or objectives that people can set for themselves. You can become the greatest bounty hunter in the world, or you can become the ninja with the biggest bounty in the world, one that is feared across multiple villages. Every village around the world knows the atrocities that Sasuke 69 has committed. Death is a big part of Naruto, and I really think it should be a part of the game. Some of the great moments in Naruto are linked to characters dying, and I think the game should capture that in some way. You want to preserve your character, so when you become a bounty hunter, you know that you're at risk of actually losing your character. You can choose a safer path and just try to progress to other goals, I guess, but this should be a dangerous game, a game where you actually stand to lose something. And killing another player should have consequences. As you do it, you know that you are deleting someone's character, so the murderer is going to become haunted by multiple villages, potentially. Let's say a Leaf Village ninja gets assassinated, and the Leaf has an alliance with the Sand. Now, both villages' special forces are hunting that assassin. Plus, having a ninja actually die in battle makes room for different generations of ninja to arise, which is what I was talking about earlier. You're not necessarily playing as a single ninja. Your story is not the one of a single ninja, but you're actually playing as your own family ninja line. And this ultimately tells a much deeper and unique story for each player out there. Because your character dies, you make their child or whatever, and now that child actually had a dad that had a whole history. And that can affect your goals or not. Maybe that child's goal is revenge on the murderer of the dad. I don't know. This video's getting so long, and I haven't even gotten into the growing up mechanic. You start as a kid at the academy, but then you can grow into a teen, an adult, or just an old man, and each one has their advantages and disadvantages. I haven't even talked about what happens when two villages go to war. But yeah, I've spent years thinking about this game. No way I can put all of this into a single video. There's no way. This game is huge, and it's way too expensive to make, and it's never happening because of that.
Yeah. know. We know. WB Glob, man. We gonna watch the rest of these another time. Another time, y'all. Another time. Oh man, that was good. That was good, man. That was a good stream, bro. Good stream. W stream, man. W stream. But you know what? Like I always say, if it ain't Sasuke, it ain't right. That boy so. Anyway, bro, I gotta get on here and play Geekshin Squadron one time, bro. Maybe tomorrow. Tomorrow stream we might play Gekishin Squadron and we might finish out these videos, but we had to get that delusionalness out the way first, man. But W stream, man. W stream. Um, I will see y'all tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll be back. We'll play some Gekishin. We'll finish out this series of videos from Globku. I like the game so far, man, but we're not getting it, bro. Bandai concentrated on one thing. It's not happening, man. It's not happening. But yeah, so I love y'all. Unless it's like fan made or something like that, then maybe there's a chance. But we're not getting this, bro. But make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe if y'all new, man. You know we have like to end these streams, man. So like I said, song request, song request. If you got a song you want to play, bro, for the end of the stream, y'all let me know. Um, and I'll play it. Just don't let it be no weird stuff. That's all I ask. That's all I ask, man. But W stream, W stream. Like, comment, and subscribe if you new. Oh, I'm still recording. That boy's still recording, but oh my goodness. But like, comment, and subscribe if you new, man. And I'm out, bro. I'm out. I love y'all. And I'll see y'all tomorrow, man. Freak it. I'm the Santa. I'm the Santa. You know the Món quốc tế China bố chú thì cả mấy cái đó thì thì mà thôi thì mà phải đi cả ba cái thì mà vậy mà nó trong khi thì mà không phải bây giờ vậy